Be careful with me. Do you know what you're doing? Whose feelings that you hurt?
First YouTube video. Before we start, I know I look like a mess, but we just came from running errands because like we're having a cookout. So like I'm in a rush too because this motherfucker is almost coming and he want his shit ready, and then I had to help him get undressed or whatever, you know, to sing all that type of shit. And so yeah, I'm trying to finish my makeup right now. So yeah, and thank you for the people who subscribe to my YouTube channel and has been very active on my Instagram pictures. So I really appreciate that. And well, here goes famous Benji. Ugly ass belly button, bruh. Nah, I'm just playing. I love my right now. I'm trying to like fix my makeup right now. But anyway, let's talk. So the title of this video, as you can see, is how I found out I was pregnant at 16 or whatever. You know, whatever. I'm like, to be honest, I thought everybody would want me to do a makeup video, because even before I got pregnant, a lot of girls wanted me to do fucking makeup videos. But I'm gonna give you a second little glimpse of my belly, because some bitches say that I'm faking my pregnancy. Bitch, how in the fuck am I gonna stick out a fucking pregnancy belly? Like, bitch, you gotta fuck up. So look at that belly button, bruh. Look at that. Does that look fake to you, bitch? No, it does not, right? It does not. Who the fuck's gonna stick that shit out, bitch? Who in the fuck? Like, bitch got me fucking whole topic situation. So everybody wants to know how I knew I was pregnant, or how I find out, or whatever. I'm 26 weeks right now, by the way. So let's get to it. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a little story about how my life was before I got pregnant. So before I got pregnant, I moved in with my mom because I didn't get along with my grandparents, because I was a little brat. I didn't like being told what to do. I wanted to live my life. I wanted to drop out or whatever. So when I moved with my mom, I dropped out of school because I wanted to. I wanted to work. You know, I wanted to get money. Shanago, you know, get money. Like, I wanted to get my makeup, my nails done, whatever. So, you know, I started working. And by that time that I was with my mom, me and my boyfriend were fighting a lot. So we broke up. Like, I was tired of him. I was like, you know, I was done with that motherfucker. You know, that's how we all say. We're done. I'm done with him, but really you ain't. So I really wasn't, but I just didn't want to be in a relationship with him no more at the moment. And so yeah, so I stopped seeing him because I would go over to his house every fucking day. Like, his house was my casa, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, and well, I started working, doing my own thing, going out, meeting new people or whatever. But even though I was going to parties, I never had no sexual relationship with nobody. I was so into my baby daddy. Like, I was never gonna sit there and do that shit to him, you know. Yeah. And well, while I was sick, I was at home, and out of nowhere I started throwing up early in the morning, like 2, 3, fucking 4 in the morning. And you know, never in my head I said I'm pregnant, because first me and my boyfriend always protected ourselves, so that was never a thought in my head. And since I was sick too, like, I thought it was because I was sick. So I threw up white foam, like white stuff and foam, and that was the first time I threw up. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, you know, I was like, man, I'm getting worse. But even if I was sick, like, I didn't even have a fever to sit there and throw up. You know, he was still texting me during that time, but my ass was ignoring him. I went back to work, and I used to work at a pizza place. And every time I go to work, like, let me tell you something. I love pizza. Pizza was my shit. Like, something I would eat every fucking day if I wanted to. So when I went up there, and I'm the one that serves the pizza in the buffet, I was like, ugh. It's like I could literally smell the rotten ass shit that's inside it. Like, everything inside it was rotting. That's what my thought was. That's how the smell was, like, to me. I was like, ugh. I was like, I was like, I couldn't do this. I was like, I can't be here. I was like, I have to go. So I was feeling that way. And for as long as I've been there, that's never happened to me. I've always liked to smell pizza, like different flavors and shit, but I smell something disgusting out of it. So I went back home, and I threw up. I threw up again. I threw up what I ate, because, well, since I had a break over there at my job, I threw up pizza. So yeah, I threw up, and I was like I said, like never in my thought I thought I was pregnant, because I protected myself and because like I was sick. So yeah, so I was just like, what the fuck? Like I was like, why am I feeling this way and shit? And it was November, and it was already coming to December. And you know, us girls, we all start our periods. I start mine's at the beginning of a month or at the end of a month. So November was almost done with. So yeah, even that same day I was like, where's my period? Well, how come I'm not bleeding? I didn't even worry about it too much. So the reason I didn't worry about my period too much was because I will always start it the next month that's come up next, like later on. So that's why I didn't worry about it. So I just thought about it. I was like, what? I didn't start my period. So yeah, and well, my flu went away. I stopped coughing. I stopped having allergies. I started going back to work, started to go out, ignoring messages from my baby daddy. And out of nowhere, my bitch ass still was throwing up, still was feeling disgusted in every food. And I used to eat everything. Like I used to eat McDonald's, Jack in the Box spaghetti, even watermelon, even grapes. I was throwing all of that up. Like, and when I was throwing all of that up, and I felt disgusted by all of it, I was like, that's when I said to myself, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So like I was like, something's wrong. So then I was like I said, like never in my head I thought I was pregnant, never. So in my head I was like, I'm depressed, like this is because of my breakup with my baby daddy, like this is really because it was hurting me and I was too depressed. I was like, nah, I need to fix things with him. Like I can't be feeling this way. If I want to be with him, I gotta fix things with him. So yeah, I went back in contact with him. I didn't forgive him, but he had to earn my trust again and my forgiveness. So yeah, we started talking again. We were in contact again, so I was all happy again. I wasn't feeling depressed, and I stopped going out, you know, because his dumbass is a little jealous, little booger boy. And well, I started, like, yeah, I was all back to work and everything. And well, even though I was so happy, I was throwing up still in the mornings. And that's when I realized, like, I have to go to the doctor. Something's wrong with me. And that's when I told him about it. I was like, hey, you know, I've been feeling this way lately. And he was like, for real? And he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then he's like, I was telling him, should I go to the doctor? Because, like, and all that. And he was like, I don't know if you want to. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. And then out of nowhere in his head, like, well, yeah. But out of nowhere in his head, he had the idea of me taking a pregnancy. He had the idea, like, why don't you just take a pregnancy test, like, get that shit out of the way, because I don't know, like, it kind of sounds to me like they're pregnancy symptoms. And he was like, just take one just to get it out of the way. I don't want you to go to the doctor and be surprised and come, like, you know. So I was like, okay. So I told his sister about my symptoms, what I was going through, and she was like, yeah, that's how I felt when I was pregnant, because his sister got pregnant too, young age. And when she knew all about that, she was like, yeah, I was pregnant. That's the same symptoms you get when you're pregnant. And she's like, I was like, oh my God. Well, I told her, can you buy me a pregnancy test? Because I didn't have the guts to do it. And she was like, yeah, I'll buy you one. So she went to the store and she got me a pregnancy. So yeah, so before I went to the doctor, she got me one. That day I came to his house and we had a cookout that day. She brought me a pregnancy test. I went straight to the restroom to take it right away. And in my head, I was like, please, like, I don't want to be pregnant. Like, what am I going to tell my mom? What am I going to tell my grandparents? Like, I'm already here. They're already here disappointed of me and shit. But then at the same time, I wanted to have a baby because, like, me and him were working out and, like, we're so in love. I can imagine having a little mini me or a little mini of him. So I was kind of, like, wanting both. So when I took it, it came out negative. It said that I wasn't pregnant. So I was relieved, but I was kind of sad. Like I said, I kind of wanted to. But yeah, it was negative. I was like, what? Even I was so like, I made a doctor's appointment, and at that time I was going at Children's. And when I went up there, I told them what was going on with me. And well, I have asthma, so my asthma was kind of tripping really bad. And that my asthma's not really like that. Like, it doesn't really trip. but I couldn't breathe for some reason. And well, I told her about how I was throwing up, and well, she told me, okay, I'll give you medicine for your asthma, and we're gonna need you to pee in a cup. So I was like, okay. I peed in a cup and everything. So I was waiting for her to come with the results, and while she came in the room, and she was all quiet. She looked at me in a weird way. So when she came in the room, she looked at me in a weird way, right? And she told me, honey, I think I know what's wrong with you. And I'm like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah, you're pregnant. And when she told me that, I just looked at her like this, like, bitch, you crazy? I told her straight up, like, what? I'm like, no. I was like, I can't be. I took a pregnancy test last week, and it told me it was negative. And she was all like, well, the doctors is more 100% than buying a fucking pregnancy test over there at a fucking corner store or whatever. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, wow. I was so shocked, and I was like, wow. And well, when I went back home, I was so shocked that I even went to the store and bought two myself. I bought the most expensive ass ones, and ones that will really tell. And while I was looking at the box how to do it, I said to myself, I was supposed to start my period on November, at the end of November. It never came. December's almost over, and I haven't even started my period. I was like, oh fuck no. I was like, I'm gonna take this fucking pregnancy test right now. Like, that's how in shock I was. Like, I couldn't believe it. I took both of them, and when I look at them hoes, they were fucking positive. I was like, oh. I was like, and I dropped it, and I was crying. Like, I was like, no. Like, I thought I would be happy at the center, but no, I was not. I literally started crying. I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life? How the fuck am I gonna tell my mom? Especially my mom, because that bitch of a mother that I have, yes, I love her with my heart, but she was a bitch. Like, I'm being with y'all right now. This is what she told me. Si tú te embarazas de ese niño, te vas de mi casa. ¿Me oíste? Yo no estoy aquí trabajando duro para que tú estés aquí haciendo tus pendejadas con ese huerquillo, ¿me oíste? Yo no quiero ningún chamaco en esta casa, ¿me oíste? Tú te vas a ir de esta casa con ese niño que te embarazó, ¿me oíste? ¿Me oíste, Sara? Será la última vez que me entero. I swear. ¿Me oíste? ¿Me oíste? Vale más, Sara. Cuídate. That's how my mom was, bro. Like, oh my god. It was no good. Happy ending with my mother. No. I was scared to tell that. So, she was in my head, like, when I first found out. But the real person that I really needed to talk to was, of course, the baby daddy. So I called him and I told him, hey, we need to talk. And he was like, okay. So I went over to his house, and they had a cookout. And well, we went to the room, we started talking, and then I told him, you remember how I told you I was feeling this way, and that the first person you see came out negative? But when I went to the doctor, you know what they told me? And he was like, what? Like, I'm pregnant, Rick. I was like, I'm pregnant, Rick. And he looked at me like, but yeah. I'm not gonna tell you that story, because that's a whole, it gets real right there too. So please, if y'all want to know how I told my loved ones and how I told him, let me know if I could do a part 2. But yeah, anyway, I really appreciate those people who watched this boring ass video, but you know what, I gave it a shot. Hope y'all like it. If y'all want a part 2, how I told my loved ones and how was the reactions, please let me know, because that shit gets real around that time. And well, I'm waiting for this dumbass booger boy, but I don't know where he at. But yeah, I was thinking to make another video for like a little advice to girls that want to have a baby like so young. Like, it's not just about like taking cute pictures, buying cute baby clothes, and having a baby shower or whatever. No, like, you're gonna be doing more than that. Like, you're gonna waste a lot of money, do a lot of payments for doctor's appointment, all that. Like, I'm gonna let y'all know, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, what's really gonna happen if you decide to have a baby. And something I learned. So yeah, please subscribe, or no, don't give a fuck. But I don't really care if you cry.